Hello, welcome to TransByDef. My name is Morgan Fay, and we're still on this week's topic of what you can do to help make going full-time easier. So this is kind of an addendum to my last video, and I just wanted to briefly touch upon one other very important aspect, which is your body presentation, your body language, your speech patterns. There's a lot of differences between men and women in the way that they present themselves visibly to the world. Beyond just their physical appearance, the way they hold themselves, the way they sit, the way they talk. And you need to start paying attention to all the nuances of the gender you want to present as, in order to be able to fully pass and be able to fully blend in and to be fully accepted. When you start throwing the body visual cues that aren't matching up with your presentation, you're going to put people off, not just making yourself be more recognizable, but even those who accept you are going to be, it's going to be harder for them to accept you in a conversation or to relate to you, because you're giving mixed signals. Some examples of this is sitting. Men tend to sprawl. They're all over, legs spread. They use up a lot of room. Women compact their bodies. They sit in smaller, tighter positions. They tend to use the armrest. They don't tend to extend themselves from their chair. Standing. Men tend to stand very straight. Women tend to shift weight to one leg, oftentimes to kind of push one hip out. When men and women talk, men's conversations is dominated by, well, dominance. It's all about a competition. It's about who's got the biggest story, who's got the best results. It's always a competition. Women are more collaborative, so you need to unlearn a lot of things you learned in order to blend into that male role, which you weren't comfortable with, in order to fully transition over. You need to be sure that you listen more than you talk, and when you do talk, use more adjectives, use more colorful language. You want to brighten up your speech. Men and women also have different speech patterns and actually the tone that they talk. And this is touched upon in many of the voice lesson videos. Men are very monotone. They keep everything kind of at a set level, while women are up and down on the scale. So you need to pay attention to your target presentation's gender in order to see how they behave and kind of try to blend in with that. You want to make sure that your visual cues, body, and your speech patterns match up with what you're trying to accomplish. Because if they aren't, this is going to send a subconscious signal to those you interact with that something's not right, something's not matching up, and it's going to make you it's going to get you recognized more, and it's also going to make it harder for people to accept you as the gender that you're presenting as. The final aspect that I wanted to touch upon was your name. There's a lot of legal work that you have to go through, but the most important part of that is actually getting people to socially accept you're going to be your new name. I chose a name which is actually fairly unisex. So it has its advantages and disadvantages. It made it a lot easier for people to switch over to my new name, but it also made it harder for them to switch over their gender perception. So name is important, and you want to get people used to your name before you try to get them used to your new gender pronoun. Trying to do both at once is actually kind of difficult. So focus on correcting people first with the use of the new name. Once that has kind of settled, and once people have accepted that and use it in regular, they stop using your old name, then you start working on the gender pronoun. Doing too much at once, unfortunately, can overwhelm a lot of people, and they'll tend to take a little more, have a little more problems with it. So once they've gotten used to switching over name, they're already kind of used to that switching over, so switching over gender pronouns is a little bit easier. So I hope that you enjoyed the last little bit of what I have to add to this topic. So I will see you next week on TransByDef.